Guys, right behind me is Equator. Means if you were to draw a line right through the middle of the earth, it would pass exactly through there.
No clue what this lady's deal was. I'm filming Moss and from inside she's yelling, "Turn off the camera!"
Even the shops around here feel split. Half like they're north of the equator, half like they're south.
And dude, what's with the guards walking around with those massive guns everywhere in Uganda?
He has dragged me so far from the bus stand, and I have been walking for so long.
Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video, a brand new day from my African adventure. As you know, I've started traveling through East Africa, and right now I'm in Uganda, a country that's bordered by 5 other nations. To the east, it's got Kenya, to the north, South Sudan, on the west, DRC, the southwest side touches Rwanda, and to the southeast, it's Tanzania. And I'm currently in Kampala, the capital city of Uganda, which is known to be one of the most livable cities in East Africa. In the last few videos, you saw me travel from Tanzania to Kampala, Uganda's capital city. I had some fun experiences around the city too. It's been 4 to 5 days since I got here. Honestly, I couldn't shoot every day. Had to upload older videos, back everything up. It's morning right now, around 11:30 a.m. This was my hostel. Just packed up my bags, had some breakfast downstairs, now heading out. Where to? Well, to the famous Equator point. So just a fun fact, the equator runs through Uganda. It's a line around the middle of the earth. It splits the planet in two. The top is the northern hemisphere and the bottom is the southern. That line, it's called the equator. Now because that line goes straight through Uganda, the weather here stays pretty much the same all year round. It's usually just super pleasant. We just left the hostel. Now we're heading to the exact spot where the equator passes through. It's about 80 kilometers from here. Let's go check it out. Kampala is Uganda's capital and biggest city, but it doesn't have an international airport. The closest one is Entebbe Airport, about 50 to 60 kilometers from the city center. That's where we landed earlier. Now we're heading back in that direction. Basically, we're going south toward Rwanda's side and a little past Entebbe. That's where the equator point is, around 80 kilometers from where we are right now.
Traveling with me today is Traveling Mantra. Hey, do you know anything about the place we're headed to?
Yeah, the equator, or as we call it in Hindi, Bhumadhya Rekha is basically the line that divides the earth into two halves. It cuts through the center of the earth. Uganda is famous for it. You can see a clear line on the ground. You can literally stand between both hemispheres at once.
How far is it from here?
It is about 80 kilometers distance.
And how are we getting there?
Public transport, we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, well, we don't know that either. Alright, time to grab our bags and head out. It is around 12 p.m. now. Getting a bit late, the sun's out, it's midday. So yeah, it's warm. This was the bar area. And over here, the kitchen. And this was our friend. Time to say goodbye.
Bye, Daisy.
Bye.
See you in India.
I can't wait. See you in India. Safe travels.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
She talked a lot. Like seriously, anytime she'd see someone just sitting around, she'd walk right up and start a conversation. Always kept the vibe up. No one ever got bored. Now we're gonna make our way to the bus stop. Hop on a bus from there heading towards the equator point. And this right here is our buddy Miracle. He's the one who showed us around Kampala.
Should I say thank you?
Thank you. Just say thank you or say dhanyavad.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I wish to see most of you very, very soon. Come and experience a wildlife safari. Come and experience the big 5. You'll see lions, tigers, zebras, rhinos, and all the wildlife that is here with over 350 species of birds.
Wow.
Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa. But here's the thing. They don't promote their wildlife like Kenya or Tanzania, even though it's amazing. Especially the birds. Bird watchers and nature lovers love it here.
And in fact, you can also do the gorilla tracking
Yes,
here.
gorilla tracking.
You can see gorillas in Uganda. There are not many places in the world where you'd find
There are
gorillas.
only 2 places actually in the whole world.
Uganda, Rwanda, and I think Congo as well. I think Congo could be the third one.
But in this area, you can actually spot gorillas. You just need to get a permit for it.
How much is the permit for? Like $800 and something,
Yeah,
right?
it's 800 and something dollars. So
There it is. Our bus stop just showed up.
We're supposed to go to Tausi Coach's bus station, right? And then we can find a bus to the equator from there. Miracle, thank you so much. See you next time. Had a great time in Kampala.
We're heading to Tausi Coaches. It's a bus terminal run by the Tausi company. We'll see if there's a bus going toward the equator point. If not, we might head straight to Rwanda, cross the border, and explore a new country in East Africa. Like we said earlier, gorilla tracking is a big deal here. In Uganda, the permit costs around $800 to $850, and with that, you can actually go trekking with gorillas in the wild. It's available in Rwanda too, but the permit there is a few $100s more, I think.
Hello, could you open the boot? Yeah, so I can keep my bags. Hello, bro. How are you?
Uganda has a population of about 50 million people. Around 10 to 25% live in Kampala. It's the capital and biggest city. Now during the afternoon, everything looks pretty organized. People follow traffic signals. Red light, green light, they stick to lanes. But when evening hits, offices close and it's chaos. No lanes, no signals. It gets crazy out here. That said, Kampala is one of the fastest growing cities on earth. It contributes nearly half of Uganda's entire GDP. Like I mentioned earlier, it's also seen as one of the most comfortable cities to live in across East Africa. After the equator, we're heading to Rwanda. Its capital is Kigali. Kigali is known as the cleanest city in Africa. Some even call it the Singapore of Africa. But when it comes to quality of life, many still say Kampala beats Kigali. Check this out. The city is spread out up and down on these hills. Some parts are higher up, some are lower. Right now we're going downhill a bit. If you look ahead, you'll see some neighborhoods sitting on other hills, and some parts right here on this hill. That's why Kampala is also called the City of Hills. This market I'm standing in is a spare parts market. Lots of vehicles coming and going, parts all around. Honestly, Kampala reminds me of my home city, Delhi. The traffic is insane and pollution's noticeable, but some areas are really modern. It can feel like a well-developed city. On the other hand, just like we saw in some slums earlier, some areas are pretty backward, and people can be quite hostile or aggressive. In fact, just now while I was shooting, a guy on a bike was yelling at me, like, "Put that phone away, put that phone away." You gotta be really careful filming outside here.
And this is Gaddafi Road already? Okay.
Alright guys, now we've made it to Gaddafi Road, named after the mosque here. The Gaddafi Mosque, or the National Mosque of Uganda. We're gonna check it out up ahead and I'll show you guys soon. Alright friends, what you're seeing is the National Mosque of Uganda, also known as the Gaddafi Mosque. Not sure what was up with that lady inside. She kept shouting, "Turn it off, turn off the camera." No idea why. Anyway, this is Uganda's National Mosque, or Gaddafi Mosque, named after the Libyan leader Gaddafi because he gifted this mosque to Uganda. Now, Uganda's Muslim population is only about 14 to 15%, but this mosque was a special gift for the Muslim community here. That tall tower you see, the Minar. It's about 50 meters tall, around 160 to 165 feet, and the mosque can hold up to 15,000 people. Though, honestly, it seemed like they didn't want us filming it much. Alright, here's a bus already parked. This is the bus station up ahead. Tausi bus station, I think. They run buses from here, probably heading to Rwanda. And maybe they pass by the equator on the way too. So guys, our Uber bill came to 15,000 Ugandan shillings. The currency here is the Ugandan shilling, just for reference. 1 USD equals around 3,700 shillings. 1 INR equals around 43 shillings. I gave the driver a 20,000 shilling note and he gave me back 5,000 as change. So the ride cost about $3 to $4 for a 15 to 20 minute taxi trip.
Thank you, brother.
Alright guys, we've reached the bus stop. They told me there's a small matatu, a minivan, which costs 25,000 shillings and it fits about 14 people. Or there's a bigger bus that costs 20,000 shillings. Honestly, I think the buses are better. Matatus are cramped and don't have much space for bags. So I decided, let's go with the bus. Say it's cheaper too, like 5,000 shillings less.
Goodbye. Thank you.
It was pretty cool. The guy even stopped the car for us at the mosque. But the mosque people didn't let us in. Now they're saying the bus is full. And the next one's in half an hour to an hour. But here in Africa, that usually means 2 to 3 hours. The other option is to grab a small car or taxi. We're just exploring, so if we find something cheaper, we'll go for it. Someone just grabbed my bag. So my bag was just a backpack, right? Yeah, but my companion Manoj travels with a suitcase, and obviously his bags don't get banged up like mine do on the bus. But this guy just grabbed my backpack. And even took Manoj's suitcase too. Traffic was insane. And the guy suddenly grabbed the bags and jumped straight into the road. This is one of those small vans, but where are we even supposed to fit? My bag's getting all dirty. I'll have to clean it later. Where's this guy even taking me? He's brought me so far from the bus stand. Just keeps walking and walking. Honestly, gotta respect the guy's stamina. That van was totally packed. We wanted to get in, but it was full, no space at all to sit inside. So there's another shuttle over here, but that one's packed too. Looks like we're gonna have to wait here for a bit.
We have given 50,000 note in tip to someone. It thought it was around 4,000 rupees, but that actually took 40,000 rupees.
We got our tickets for 50,000 Ugandan shillings, 25,000 Ugandan shillings each. Give me the bottle here. That's about 2,000 to 5,000 shillings, roughly 10 US dollars each. The ride is 1.5 to 2 hours, a bit pricey, but okay, let's get on. No space left, we'll have to squeeze in.
Should I help you?
Alright, this is the only way. The rest is still ahead.
What if it falls down? Okay.
So let's roll. Finally got a seat somehow. Manoj sitting up front.
That's your business card? Okay.
Before we go, there's a quick prayer. People here in Africa do it before every trip. They pray nothing goes wrong. No breakdowns. Smooth ride. We're saying that prayer now.
We thank you for you created the way for us. We thank you for the peace that is beyond human understanding is given to us and mind. We praise you. For just my name we pray and believe. Amen.
Amen. The driver stopped to fill up fuel. No clue how many more stops we'll have like this. No idea what they were doing? It's 1:30 p.m. now. We've waited over an hour to refuel. Maybe they were changing the oil. Anyway, it's done. We're about to leave. Thank you. Goodbye. Alright, finally, we're on the move. Ooh, there it is. That's the equator, right there. After a super uncomfortable ride, we finally made it. Looks like there are people standing with flags right on the roadside. That's the equator spot, right on the road with people standing with flags. We had the driver stop the van, but then we realized the front seat is just way too uncomfortable, so everyone ended up getting out to take a proper look at the equator. We left from Kampala, and now the time is exactly 3:35 p.m. Just so you know, we were at the bus stop around 12:15 p.m. They told us the bus would leave in an hour, but we hopped into a van instead. And still, by the time we got here, it was almost 3:45. Guys, this is the equator, the center line of Earth. A straight line around the middle of Earth would pass right here. My right foot is in the southern hemisphere. My left foot is in the northern hemisphere. This white line is the actual equator. It cuts straight across the planet. As I walk, one foot's in the north, the other in the south. Even this restaurant here, but look at that. Half of it sits in the northern hemisphere and half in the southern. Even the shops here are split between the two halves of the earth. See, the world is full of borders, countries, states, regions. But the equator, there is only one equator on the entire planet. Just one line that slices the earth right in the middle. It's not like a country border that comes and goes. This line is constant, universal, and unique. And while the equator runs through several countries, we actually got to experience it right here in Uganda, standing on the literal middle of the earth. Even though the equator technically divides the earth right down the middle, 2/3 of the world's landmass lies in the northern hemisphere, and only 1/3 is in the southern hemisphere. Out of the world's 197 countries, only 32 lie entirely below the equator, and just 13 countries have the equator actually passing through them. Big countries like the USA, Canada, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, and India are all in the northern hemisphere. Meanwhile, countries like Argentina, Peru, South Africa, Angola, Australia, and New Zealand are in the southern hemisphere. While uploading this video, I did a quick count, and out of the 125 plus countries I have been to so far, only 16 were entirely south of the equator. And if we talk about population, around 90% of Earth's population lives in the northern hemisphere. Even though the southern hemisphere has about 1/3 of the planet's landmass, it holds just 1%, or 10% of the global population. You probably noticed this in my New Zealand and Australia videos too. Sometimes we travel for miles without seeing a single person around. Interestingly, because the northern hemisphere has way more landmass, it tends to heat up and cool down faster than the southern hemisphere. That's because land warms up faster than water. And that's exactly why the northern hemisphere experiences more extreme seasonal temperatures, hotter summers and colder winters. In contrast, the southern hemisphere, which is only about 1/3 land and mostly surrounded by oceans, has milder, more moderate weather. The oceans help regulate the temperature so it doesn't swing as wildly, Even cyclones spin in opposite directions in the two hemispheres. In fact, seasons in both hemispheres are opposite because of Earth's tilt. So when it's summer in places like North America, Europe, China, or India, countries like Australia, New Zealand, or Argentina are deep in winter. But here's the cool part. At the equator, you don't get those drastic seasonal changes. Because it's right in the middle of the Earth, the weather stays pretty consistent all year round. Just wet and dry seasons, no winters or summers, and you also get 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night every single day. Although, fair warning, the sun can get brutally intense here during the day since it's almost directly overhead. In fact, around the March and September equinoxes, this spot even experiences what's called a zero shadow day, where shadows completely disappear at noon. You can see it written right over there too. Southern hemisphere on my left, northern hemisphere on my right, and this line I'm standing on, that's the actual equator, the center of the Earth. If you were to draw a line right through the middle of the planet, this is it. Right here, this area is called Kayabwe. Now from here we were actually supposed to go all the way to Kabale, which is near the Rwanda border. And the route runs right along this road, straight through the equator. We thought we'd hop off at the equator, but we'd need another ride to reach the border. Honestly, no idea if we'd find transport. There are a few restaurants around, we could have grabbed something to eat. But again, no guarantee how long we'd be stuck here waiting. We asked the driver for 5 minutes, just enough to look and snap photos. Then we'd hop back in and continue the trip. Luckily, the van's going to Kabale. That's close to the Rwandan border. Let's see how it goes. Most got off to see the equator. Front seats are really uncomfortable. Everyone's taking photos. Let's soak it in for a minute too. Look around. There are a few restaurants here and some souvenir shops selling local stuff. That one over there is a restaurant too. They've got t-shirts, caps, traditional outfits, and some cool animal prints like lions and all. You'll see stalls selling handmade crafts, some colorful dresses, and even local headgear, which is their uniqueness. Check this out. See that truck? It's in the northern hemisphere. Now it's in the southern hemisphere. Same with the bike. It's in the northern hemisphere. And now it's crossed into the southern hemisphere. And guys, the most popular tourist attraction at Uganda's equator point is the famous water and flower rotation experiment. You'll usually see local guides here doing a demo of it, but when we got here, unfortunately, there was no one around doing the experiment. And since we were short on time, I couldn't really go looking for someone either. I was really curious and I wanted to show you how it works. So the next day, just for this vlog, I came back. It had rained all day, but I still shot the experiment. I finally saw Uganda's famous flower experiment in action. So let's check it out, see what it's all about.
My name is Huntington Kalunji, water guide. We're gonna see what we call geographical water experiment. North of the equator where you're standing, if I pour water on top of this funnel here, you're gonna see it draining or spinning clockwise. But the moment you cross the line and go south, water will change, it spins the other way around, anti-clockwise. So the reason why I put this metal is just to stabilize it, make the water calm down. But after calm down the water, drop something light like this piece of flour to show you how the Coriolis effect spins.
The reason for this is the Coriolis effect. Now technically, the Coriolis effect is more of an illusion. It happens because of the Earth's rotation. When something moves on Earth's surface, like air or water, it doesn't travel in a straight line, instead it curves slightly. That's why in north cyclones spin counterclockwise and clockwise in the southern hemisphere. And because of this difference, cyclones in the northern hemisphere are often called hurricanes or typhoons. Now, just 10 steps away, we'll cross into the southern hemisphere. They say the flower spins the opposite way here. So let's go check it out and see if that claim is true.
We started from the northern, it has been rotating clockwise. Now we are south, this is southern hemisphere. So it has to change and spins the other way, spins the anti-clockwise. Also have to stabilize the water again, as I did the northern hemisphere, which was the first one. So we need to see what happened to those who live south. Get a change, it's now spinning anti-clockwise.
Their claim turns out to be absolutely true. The flower actually starts spinning counterclockwise with the flow of the water, all thanks to the Coriolis effect.
Countries like Australia, New Zealand, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa, south of Uganda, this is how their sinks and tourists begin. Anti-clockwise.
Now it's time for the main spot, the exact equator line. Here we'll do the experiment again to see the effect right on the line between north and south.
So back to the line, we have seen clockwise north, we've seen anti-clockwise south. So what will happen exactly on the latitude 0 here? And then when you come on March 21st and September 23rd at the equinox, Midday, you have no shadow on those tulips. Your shadow disappears because that's when the sun's will above your head. That's on March 21 and September.
This flower just went straight down into the bucket with the flow of water. No spinning, no significant swirl, nothing. You might be surprised seeing this experiment, right? But here's the thing. The Coriolis effect does exist, no doubt. But it's really minimal and only shows up on a large scale, like in oceans or weather systems. The Coriolis effect is so weak that it can't actually decide the direction water spins in your sink or toilet. The real reason for the swirl is the shape of the sink or toilet and the angle at which the water comes in. Now, in this Equator water experiment, it's probably the asymmetrical shape of the funnels and the fact that they use 3 different balls, not the same ball for all 3 experiments. This is actually done so that the balls or funnels don't mix up and mess with each other. Instead of tagging each ball separately, they've painted marks inside the balls to show which hemisphere or direction swirl it's supposed to mimic. That way, at each spot, the right shaped ball is used to make the experiment work properly. So in my opinion, this Equator experiment at Kabale isn't really a true proof of the Coriolis effect. It's more like a cool tourist trick or quick show. The locals here are really friendly. This simple example helps explain the phenomenon a bit, but honestly, it's best to enjoy it like a magic show. Don't take it too seriously. So I climbed up the roof because my bag had all the snacks, like dry fruits and stuff. Took them out, repacked everything nicely. Check out the view from up here, and look, there's some people over there dancing, probably welcoming someone. Alright. Don't let the roof collapse under my butt. Right now, our car is in the north hemisphere, but the bonnet is actually in the south hemisphere. There was still some time before leaving the equator. The craziest thing happened. I got into the van and a girl sat next to me, looked all serious. Turns out she had seen my videos. Yeah, they are in Hindi, but she watched my Somalia ones. And then the same day, a guy I met in the morning, Miracle from Kampala, Uganda. He sat with me at the hostel. He said, "I've seen your videos on YouTube about Mali." I said, "Yeah, that's me." How wild is that? Usually my viewers are from India, but here I was in Africa, and 2 days in a row people recognize my work. The whole van crew is really cool with us. I mean, they waited. It's already been like 10 minutes. Anyway, they've been clicking pictures too. Let's take something for them, man. They're just sitting there patiently.
What is this? Is this a cookie?
It's a Roku bun.
Rocco?
A rock bun.
Bun. It's a bun.
Yes.
What do you eat it with?
You can either eat it with sugar, like honey.
With honey.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
2,000.
Do you have honey also?
Here's the deal. This is for 2,000 shilling per piece, which is like 5.25 US dollars.
It's a bit hard on the top, but it's so still inside.
Okay, I'll buy it 10.
10?
Yeah.
I grabbed these two and these as well. They're kind of sweet, you know. They fry these in oil and they say it's got butter, sugar and flour in it. And this one is also like a bun. Pretty tasty stuff.
But there is no honey, right?
No, I can put it on. It's better when you have it from here, then
Okay, we're in the van. It won't be very convenient for us to put honey now.
They're pouring in so much at once. Let's take all this with us.
I'm bringing more. Can you guys all distribute for everyone?
Here, took a whole bunch for the van and some for ourselves too. Some tomatoes have spilled on the road. Look how people are already sweeping it up ahead. Some tomatoes or maybe potatoes are spilled on the road. People are sweeping it up. If they don't clean it, it'll just go bad there. So gotta clear it fast.
These are potatoes, right?
Friends, it's already 6:30 in the evening. We're driving through small towns and on both sides of the road, you can see valleys stretching far away, fields, swamps, lots of greenery and small villages popping up here and there.
It's a pretty interesting route. Right now, we're about to reach Mbarara, which happens to be the second largest city in Uganda. Of course, the biggest city and capital is Kampala. Mbarara is down south and we're heading that way towards the Rwanda border. Uganda's third largest city is Gulu, which is up north. Talking about airports, the busiest one is Entebbe Airport near Kampala. Second busiest is Arua and third is Gulu. From here, Kabale is still about 3.5 to 4 hours away, and since it's already 6:30 p.m., we'll probably reach around 10 p.m. So I'm sitting with two girls here, and you know what my absolute favorite part of traveling is? It's talking to people, learning about them, their languages, their culture. I was chatting with the girl next to me, asking stuff like, hey, what language do people speak in this city? And what about the next city? And the one after that? Just trying to get the vibe of the whole region. And here's something cool I want to share with you about this area in East Africa. Mbarara, which is the second largest city in Uganda, mostly has people from the Banyankole tribe. These folks are mainly cattle keepers, and the language they speak is called Runyankole. So that's Mbarara. Now, if we go further south from Mbarara towards the Rwanda border, we reach Kabale. In Kabale, spoken by the Bakiga people. The dominant language is Rukiga. Fun fact, Rukiga and Runyankole are pretty similar languages, both from the Bantu family, so people can understand each other. In Kampala, people speak Luganda, which is very different from the southern language. About 40 minutes from Kabale is another town called Kisoro. Here you will find some other tribes like the Bafumbira and the Batwa people. The Batwa are known for being quite short in height. We'll be staying in Kabale, and from there, we'll most likely cross the border into Rwanda and head towards Kigali. Finally, we've entered Mbarara, Uganda's second largest city. Okay, I'm so relieved. Finally, gonna take a break and stretch my legs. Let's go. Alright guys, finally we're close to Mbarara city, which like I told you, is Uganda's second largest city. We're still a bit outside the city, but this area is officially Mbarara. Just before Mbarara, we made a quick stop here at this rest area with a petrol pump and a small restaurant. Finally, time to stretch the body a bit and chill for a while. Although Kabale, which is our main destination, is still almost 3 hours away from here. So by the time we reach there, it'll be around 10:15 p.m. at least. In Uganda, it's normal to see guards casually holding AK-47s while people go about their day. It's wild how common it is. Even at night, they're still on the streets just standing there. It's odd, but part of the daily scene now.
What do you call it?
A rollet.
Rollet.
Yeah.
Hey guys, check this out. They actually eat rollet right here in Uganda. Basically, it's chapati with some egg, like roti and egg together. Here is egg inside a roti.
No, I mean, it's yours. You can eat it. I might get more.
No, you can bring some.
I'll just take a little bite. Okay. Yeah?
Took a bite of this one. It's exactly like our paratha back home. Just imagine cracking an egg right on top of it. There was this cute little bakery style spot, had all sorts of stuff. On one side there were cookies and sweet things, and on the other some fried snacks like chicken, samosas, even mini pizzas. And of course chapatis, they're everywhere here. Then they had a whole section for cakes, over there some bagels and different kinds of bread. I spotted a milk fridge too. Where's the milk? Grabbed a bottle of whole milk, full fat one. Picked up some plain yogurt too, because most of the flavored ones were loaded with 3 to 4 spoons of sugar each. Also snagged a handful of almonds, always good to keep some on you. Alright, let's head out now. But first gonna stretch out a bit one last time. Check this out guys, that's Uganda's national bird flying right above us. And man, it looks so majestic, especially with this gorgeous sunset sky in the background. Wow. That right there is the grey-crowned crane, also known as the crested crane. We just saw 2 of them flying together a minute ago. And yup, another random stop on the way. Look at that bike, looks kinda cool just parked there. So yeah, we took a little break here. Still about an hour and 15 minutes left to reach Kabale, and it's already 9 p.m. Also, not sure what this small town is called. Something like Kale? Wait, no, Kabale is further ahead. This place is called Rubare. People are starting to show up now. Place is getting a bit lively. It's almost quarter to 10 and it looks like we might actually reach Kabale city a little before 10 p.m. The road right now is super hilly and winding, but it's so dark outside, you can barely see anything. I've honestly lost track of how many hours we've been sitting in this van. Must have been at least 8 hours straight by now, and even before that, we were in a different vehicle. Today's been a full-on travel day, pretty much the entire day on the road. I've shortlisted 2 hotels. The girl sitting next to me, she recommended them. Apparently someone she knows stays around here, so I got in touch with them whenever I could catch a network signal in these hills. Both hotels are conveniently located right along the main road, just 2 to 3 kilometers before reaching Kabale town, making them easy to access for travelers heading into the area.
No, we're active
By the right?
supermarkets
Yeah?
around that bridge.
Yeah, I know.
Can you ask them
Okay,
to
yeah.
drop me there?
I told them, South, I'll get off a little ahead, just to stop the van 300 meters from here. They were like, cool. But the girls with me started getting concerned. One asked, how will you go alone? I said, it's just 300 meters. I'm asking them to stop the van there. Turns out, one girl who'd already gotten off got back in to make sure I got dropped at the right spot. I said, come on, I'm not a kid. It's not my first time traveling, relax. But she insisted on sitting with me to make sure I got off at the right spot. Then she asked, what if you don't like the hotel? I said, no worries. If it sucks, I'll just walk to the next one. They were all like, you'll walk at night? Everyone was shocked, like, wait, you're in Africa and walking around at night? Even the lady earlier asked, where will you stay tonight since it was late? I told her, honestly, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. They were all confused, like, how are you even traveling like this? And I'm just sitting there thinking, why is everyone stressing so much? We'll get there. It's all good. So this girl was actually supposed to get off like 300 to 400 meters before us, but she stayed back and came with us just to make sure the driver dropped us off at the right hotel. I guess we have to stay here. I mean, after the effort she put in to bring us here. We said our goodbyes to everyone. Seriously, such amazing people. Super helpful. Like I mentioned, this girl was supposed to get off a few hundred meters back, but stayed on to make sure we didn't get lost. I mean, nothing would have happened. We're two guys, and in your 20s, a little risk is part of the journey. But she said, no, you're in my town. I just want to make sure you both reach safely. Alright, bro, all good now. Let's go. Here's my big backpack. Thankfully, they had a room available. I'd called earlier, but the signal kept dropping, voices cutting out. Took 4 tries to get a proper call through, but the guy was chill. He just said, yeah, we've got a room. Come over.
Where's the room? Okay. Is it far away?
Honestly, the biggest problem was this suitcase, the one my friend Mano is carrying. I mean, I've just got a backpack. Easy to carry anywhere, super chill. But these bags, you can't really travel with them. And he's got like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
He's going to get the key. It's cold here in Kabale. The temp's around 13 degrees Celsius right now. Most people come here for the gorilla trek. They stay in Kabale, then head out early morning into the jungle for the trek. Check this out. They even have a gorilla statue set up here for that vibe. They called a buddy to help with the bags. Now this guy's taking us from one cottage to another. He mentioned a bigger one ahead. I said, give me the big one. There's 2 of us. The crested cranes we were watching, right? This is our room, 17,000 shillings, which is roughly 20 US dollars. Sounds fair.
Bro, tell me your name again. Justice. Yes, thank you so much, Justin. You're a great guy. Thank you so much, brother.
Look, the names here are all kind of like Daisy, Justice, Miracle, Incredible. All those cool ones. But here's the best part. We had 0 cash left. Even though I'd withdrawn like 12,000 rupees from India just a day or 2 ago, barely enough to cover the shop bills, that was all gone now. So we had no money to pay the hotel. They said, we don't accept cards. It's either Momo money, kind of like Paytm here, or cash. We said, no cash at all. They were like, no worries, just pay us tomorrow, chill for now. Really good people, honestly. So yeah, it's already 10 PM and their hotel kitchen closes right at 10. But honestly, this town feels like it's 3 AM. Everything's dead silent, totally peaceful. Look, we're basically in the middle of the jungle here at the resort. Even if there's no food available now, it's no big deal because I've got my milk, yogurt and snacks with me. I'll just chill in the kitchen area, and even if the kitchen's closed, I'm good. I was probably gonna eat this stuff anyway. But hey, if we get some decent food, I'll definitely dig in. Here's their kitchen and the seating area. Looks pretty decent. Here's their Momo Pay. They also have Airtel money. It's cool, right? Honestly, the weather here is really nice. Do you have anything to eat?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Justice said, it's been so late already. We were waiting just for you, and now the only thing we can serve you is chicken curry with Indian roti. I said, well, that sounds better than anything else we could get anywhere in the country. Bring it on. No idea how it'll turn out, but we went ahead and ordered 2 plates. Let's see how it turns out in taste. The food just arrived. It's 11:01 now. We ordered around 10ish, so it took a whole hour. But they said they only had 1 plate, not 2. I was like, no worries, just bring the 1 plate then.